Hello, everybody. I'm Kip Snow, Director of the Transportation, Distribution, and Logistics Institute at the Community College of Baltimore County.
Hi, everyone. Mike Singer, Community Manager, easy for me to say, Baltimore and Chesapeake Bay Shipwatchers. Welcome to the Two Guys Talking Ship podcast episode number 71. Anchor Alert. This is the Anchor Alert, our short format of our podcast to get information out as soon as possible. Hey, so if you're new to the podcast or the channel, give us a like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be alerted to new podcasts as they come available. Share with your friends across social media. Anybody you think would have an interest in the Port of Baltimore ships, Tradepoint Atlantic, Sparrows Point, Bethlehem Steel, all the things that we're about to cover in today's episode. Also, this episode brought to you by Baltimore and Chesapeake Bay Shipwatchers.
Yeah, appreciate that. So yes, in today's Anchor Alert episode, we attended the groundbreaking ceremony for the Sparrows Point Container Terminal, and that took place on Friday, May the 2nd, out at Tradepoint Atlantic. This was a huge formal announcement celebrating the start of the terminal construction.
Right.
There's already work being done out there to prepare the site, but this is the big ceremony that they had to kick off the actual terminal construction.
Yeah, really cool. So we've got some footage from the ceremony that took place at Coke Point, what they call it. That's been the name out there for a really long time. That one section of Tradepoint Atlantic. So you can see some of the background shots and some of the construction already taking place in the footage that we have.
Yeah, so at the event they had it was staged with a couple of MSC containers and the ceremonial shoveling of dirt.
Right.
There was plenty of that. It was interesting because when we got there was some of the construction already working and going on, and then they had a hard stop at 10 a.m. and all the construction stopped, and it got very quiet for us to have this ceremony. That was
really that's interesting. See, I didn't think about that, so that's a really good point. I like that.
And so a number of dignitaries are there, and you'll be able to you'll hear some of the comments from some of the dignitaries, and then we'll show you some of the sights and sounds. So why don't we go ahead and get into that video now?
All right, let's do it.
Over the last decade, new life has been breathed into Sparrows Point. We've been collectively writing new chapters in the storied history and legacy of this incredible peninsula. Today, we mark yet another milestone for this iconic site. Together with our partner, Terminal Investment Limited, we have broken ground and are well on our way to building a modern and globally significant container terminal that will serve as an economic engine for decades to come. Is a world leader in development and operations of container terminals that grow and move economies forward. We're very proud of this partnership and the long-term commitment and significant investment that has been made in our port and the state of Maryland.
This project will add capacity, efficiency, not just for the local community, for the Mid-Atlantic and the Midwest. That's why it's important for the country. And this project is and should be a model for the entire country.
This is a great day for the people of Maryland. Scott, and to you and all the leadership of Local 333, just want to say God bless you guys and for all the work that you continue to do. This is a great day for our workers. This is a great day for our families. Because this project, in addition to over $1 billion in CapEx and $1 billion in economic activity, this project is going to support over 8,000 jobs. Over 8,000 families, over 8,000 legacies. This project is going to support, just in Baltimore County alone, over 1,100 new permanent union jobs. When this terminal is complete, it will handle over 1 million containers every year. The Port of Baltimore will grow its container capacity by 70%.
Rebuilding our nation's infrastructure is a top priority of this administration, and the Sparrows Point Container Terminal is a perfect example of what robust private-public partnership can achieve. This facility will strengthen America's supply chains, expand domestic cargo capacity on the East Coast, and dramatically reduce our dependence on overburdened port infrastructure.
This area was once the site of Bethlehem Steel, the largest steel mill in the world. It was a symbol of American industrial might. And then it became the graveyard for that great steel mill, and in many ways symbolized the decline of American manufacturing. So this place where we now gather is a symbol of American renewal and innovation. It is like the phoenix rising from the ashes. So thank you to all the folks at Tradepoint Atlantic for what you've been doing here.
Many years ago, back when dinosaurs roamed the earth and I was a boy, I grew up here. This was the place where people came to work. Bethlehem Steel employed 8 or 9 out of every 10 people in Turner Station and in Dundalk. It was a place where you raised your family and you found a way to love one another and to instill basic values. Work hard, play by the rules, love your country, cherish your faith. And in that growing up, many of the people there, and some I've seen here, did not really get pulled back by the fact that, yeah, I've got a job at Sparrows Point and I'm going to work at Bethlehem Steel and raise my family. And I watched the decline, and I watched the people get laid off, and I watched the families start to really financially crumble. And then after a while, it was all gone. There was no steel mill anymore. And these grounds just languished year after year, decade after decade. And so to be here today and to understand what this fully means and why, as you've heard over and over again, this really is historic, is because now we're talking about getting back up to that level of providing jobs again.
What we're gonna do is everybody put some dirt in your shovels. All right? 3, 2, toss. Hey! 1, 3, 2, toss.
What a great start to this project. You know, finally the work that's been done, that's been necessary to get here. You can see dredging occurring out in the turning basin. So the work has begun. And now the countdown begins for this $1.1 billion investment to take hold, expand the Port of Baltimore's jurisdiction to the point where we will be the 3rd highest capacity port on the East Coast, behind New York and behind the ports down in Georgia and Savannah. So this is absolutely a fantastic day, a great day to be able to celebrate. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, but to get to this point, significant amount of work and significant amount of commitment, you know, both on the human resource side and on the capital side, in the partnership that's occurred to allow us the opportunity to get here. We just can't say enough because of the partnership and the work that's ongoing.
All right, so that was really cool to be able to see not only the state dignitaries, but also the business partner with Terminal Investment Limited to provide some statements around the excitement. There was a clarifying point that I wanted to make in some of the job numbers.
Okay.
And so this is going to bring 1,100 ILA 333 jobs to our market.
Wow. I wonder how they came up with that number. I'm not debating it. I mean, if that's what it is, that's what it is. But I imagine that, like at the beginning, and maybe I'm way off base, but I imagine like the cargo would kind of be split between Seagirt and Sparrows Point Container Terminal, and so maybe not a huge plus at the very beginning, until, MSC brings in more traffic, because obviously they're going to want to make that container terminal as busy as possible, right? To make as much money to justify their investment. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah, no. Go ahead.
And then Seagirt and I imagine, this is my conjecture, but that all the MSC ships will no longer be going to Seagirt, because why would you be paying somebody, rent or berthing fees when you can just go to your own terminal and it's free, right?
Right.
So then Seagirt, has extra capacity when MSC leaves. And so until they're able to boost, their ship visits on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, I imagine that, you're just taking the pie and splitting it in half in the beginning.
Yeah, I don't believe that it's going to be like light switch turn on and you've got full
Bam.
capacity. Yeah,
Right.
It is going to take some time to build up to that, capacity level. In some of the comments that were being made, it does sound, yes, the MSC business would move to Tradepoint Atlantic or Sparrows Point Container Terminal.
They did mention that specifically.
Yes, and which would open up that capacity at Seagirt. But the intent is that it's not a replacement or that you're reducing the volume. You're actually building the full capacity at the port. And so by having the MSC business move to Sparrows Point, it opens up other opportunities for business and growth. So I fully see this as an expansion and not a replacement. Even with some of the intent, I think Jonathan Daniels was mentioning also that this would put us about 6th on the East Coast for terminal operations.
Right, because what blows your mind, I'm just going to interrupt real quick. I mean, the increased capacity, the increase in capacity is 70%. Wow, right? And I guess 3 ships at Seagirt, and now you can have 5 ships at once. And with 4 of those ships being the large ships, the largest ones who can come to the port right now, it makes sense. But wow, when you hear a number like 70%, gain of 70%, wow, that's a head turner, man.
It's quite significant, which is another reason why they were, so excited about this, this announcement. So,
and then if I could cover something and, try to clarify, because, and it's big news, right? So, we've seen this all over socials, and everybody's grabbing, covering this event, just like we are. And then you see down in the comments all kind of incorrect assumptions. This is private investment.
Correct.
Even though the governor was there and he was talking, this is private investment. Totally different, totally separate from the Key Bridge effort, and planned in advance.
Correct.
Before the Key Bridge accident.
Correct.
Right? So this is a company seeing value in investing $1 billion. $1 billion. I should put on my silver suit and, $1 billion. Right? Because corporations, I want to say corporate America, that's probably not the right term, but corporations don't, let's throw $1 billion at this thing. We don't think it's going to make us any money, right? So, I mean, they wouldn't be doing this unless they thought it would work.
Correct.
And this is I don't know what the numbers are. We should know this off the top of our head. This is an overall effort by MSC to privatize some terminals, right? Where they own their own terminal, right? I don't know how many they've done or have in the plans or that, but this is a concerted effort by them to own some of the terminals that they call on.
Correct. Yes. No. That was stated during the event that this was a fully privately funded investment, and that there was not any state money. They did talk about the a tax credit on the part of Baltimore County.
Right.
But
I think you and I covered that previously on a podcast.
Correct. But other than that, no, there's no state funding that was provided for this. So
yeah. So do we have any NCIS fans on here? Because Kip and I both have the Jethro Gibbs, like the polo shirt with the white thing underneath. We didn't rehearse that. We didn't plan that.
No, I didn't.
And so you must watch it, or else you wouldn't be laughing. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, what you mean.
But yeah, big huge news at the port, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and so when are they opening?
So this is this was one of the jokes that they were having during the press, and that as Carrie Doyle was introducing each dignitary would end with about a 3-month increase in the amount or in the time that.
Oh no!
So the last person said, we'll be back in 6 months, and Carrie was sweating it up on the on the podium. It was pretty funny, but the.
You think that was a concerted effort? They were all joking and doing that on purpose just to mess with
100%.
Oh, really?
It was funny. It was funny to watch him squirm, but all in good spirit. They all know, everybody's excited about it. But 2 years. This will be a 2-year construction project, and they said that it's supposed to open spring of 2028.
Wow, spring, man. And so, if you've been on the live stream camera with us, you know that we've been watching the Dale Pyatt Cashman dredge that's been out there working. And now it's been out there for a while. I don't even know how long it's been out there.
If you look back through the video, you can see it in some of the background shots.
Yeah, I definitely saw it in the background. And I wonder if they moved it there for the shot. Did you notice, I did, obviously we just got done watching the video, but I did notice the bucket hanging there at one point. Was it hanging there the whole time, or were they actually working?
No, everything had shut down. They had the bucket kind of staged there for us.
Oh, okay. Funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So
because, if we now remember, we talked about this. They did all kinds of sampling, right? Did all kinds of analysis. We've had that map on here on our podcast. We've covered that map of all the different sections of all different areas that they're dredging. What type of dredge is coming out of each section? Like they've, it's a huge turning point out of the main channel, right? And then all the way up into where the ships are going to go for the container terminal. And that's, I don't know, it's divided into 20 or 30 different little boxes, and they're all color keyed. Remember that map? And so the Dale Pyatt dredge has been kind of all over the place. I'm sure there's a method to the madness, but when you watch it, it's almost by the finger pier where a ship is. It's out almost at the mouth of the Sparrows Point Channel. It's, they move it around a lot.
Right. Well, I also know that they've been doing a significant amount of work in the basin. Some of the dredge material is going there, and if you've been through that part of the property here recently, it's just about bulldozed out. All the trees that were around the basin are gone, and they are filling it full of the dredge material. It's quite dusty over on that side of the property lately.
Some of the dredge material stays right there by the. I wonder. Yeah, I'm fascinated to know how they build that. You've got a 50-foot retaining wall, right? So if a ship comes up next, you've got the giant crane hanging over to, so here's the edge of the wall. The ship is docked here, right? The crane hangs over. All the weight of what the crane is picking up and the weight of the crane itself is bearing down here, right? So you've got this wall that the ship is sitting next to. How in the ham sandwich do you engineer this wall, and how do you even build it? Because
so I don't know in some of the pictures, and I can go back and show this to you right there where they were having the ceremony. You could see right out into the wharf where they had started to install the pilings for that wharf. And it was in a curve up against that, but that's further up into the basin. But you can see where that's starting to take shape even this early.
And I think we see 3 or 4 cranes over there working. I'm not totally sure what they're doing. Pile driving, I guess, would be one thing, but because I imagine they're going to have to drive a lot of pile to support a lot of cement that's going to hold a lot of cargo weight. And, then now just imagine something we don't think about every day. Okay, what if there's a 50-mile-an-hour crosswind? How important is that, that ship that's tied up to, an anchor cleat that's bolted to the cement isn't going anywhere?
Sure, yeah.
That's a lot of sail area, 1,300-foot-long ship.
Yeah.
Right? So what surprised me, were you surprised when you saw the ship-to-shore cranes were going to be made in Ireland?
I saw that, yeah.
That was cool. I want to go, Google that right now and see what their website looks like and, all that kind of thing. Maybe we'll cover that in the next podcast.
Yeah, it's the same brand that for the 50-foot crane that Ruckert Terminals has.
Right. Right. Just, I didn't know they made ship-to-shore cranes.
Agreed. I didn't know that either.
Yeah. And I'm kind of surprised it's 7. I'm surprised it's not like 8 or 9. But I guess they could always order another one if they, if you've got 2 ships in there, and because both berths at Seagirt have 4.
Yes.
So that's a total of 8. And I thought on one of the diagrams it was 8 or 9. I mean, heck, if you can save whatever the number is, $40 million by not ordering another crane. I don't whatever the number is.
It may be, and this may not be the case at all, but it could be as simple as, hey, we could only get 7 on a ship at once. Sure.
Well, when they came in, they only come in 4 at a time.
4 at a time? Okay. Well, forget that.
The ones that we've bought here previously.
Sure.
And then I just want to go off and say this. Man, what a cool thing for you and I, as 2 guys talking ship, to be invited to this event. Right?
Yes.
And you're a professional in the industry. I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night. You know, I've got this ship watching thing I've been doing for 9 years. And so to establish these relationships with the port players and to be included is a big deal that I have a lot of appreciation for.
Yeah, I appreciate Tradepoint Atlantic inviting us to come out and participate in that event. I was glad to get my podcast invite before I got my college invite. How about that one? So we must have made it then.
Yeah.
All right, so we just wanted to bring everybody, you know, some of the sights and sounds from Friday's event, and we'll continue to watch this and what's going on and bring updates as to what's going on with the terminal construction as we progress through this. So.
Sounds good. Just a reminder, Baltimore and Chesapeake Bay Shipwatchers, we have a Facebook group that has a whole bunch of information on it. We have a website that's full of information. The links to the live stream camera, we actually have 2. Links to this here podcast. We've got a whole swag section. There's ship schedules, port maps, all kinds of information on the website, and we're on Twix. Shout out Amy Lawrence. Wonder if she ever hears that. Instagram, Reddit, Threads, all over the place on social.
And if you want to catch the audio versions of this, Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio. We're building out our new website. It's www.twoguystalkingship.com. Please make sure you spell it correctly.
Yep.
And we
Tell 'em
also
what you got.
have some new stickers. Look at that. So we're going to pass some stickers out of our podcast. You can stick it wherever you want to stick it.
Yeah. I don't know if I would say it like that with our faces on there, Kip.
There you go. All righty. So that wraps up this Anchor Alert, and we'll have a full episode next time.
Sounds
Ready
good.
to count it off?
Let's do it.
3, 2, 1.
Happy ship watching. All right, that didn't seem so great. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.